Hello and welcome back to Inter Miami Live. Hope you're all doing well out there today. We've got a good few games coming up for you. Colorado, Montreal Impact, maybe even Toronto FC as well if we've got time. So hopefully we'll continue on last episode's success. A 3-2 victory over Real Salt Lake City. If you weren't here for that one, obviously go back and watch it. It was a great episode and a great ending to the game as well to get the win. So fantastic stuff. Also, do want to say a big thank you to all of you out there who've been watching and subscribing and liking all the videos over the past weekend or so. Really appreciate all your support. So if you can continue dropping like on today's video and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, that would be massively, massively appreciated. So we're sort of in between the Real Salt Lake City and the Colorado game. There's a few midweek fixtures going on that have just finished actually. So you can see here a few different midweek fixtures. As it stands right now, after our victory, we are 4th in the Eastern Conference. So we are in that top 7 in that conference as it stands right now for playoffs. And of course, we've got to be there after 34 games this season to get into the playoffs. But we should be doing that. Now, I've had a quick look at the pre-season preview, which I neglected to show you guys beforehand. But if we have a look at the pre-season preview, you can see that we are actually predicted to come 5th now. Okay, well, I literally looked at this a few minutes ago, and it said 7th, which I find very odd. I'm not quite sure why that suddenly just changed, but apparently 5th. So we are with a decent shout, I've got to say, of actually doing very well this season. I expect us to be a bit more like Nashville, perhaps more mid-table, lower end of a table. But according to this, up to 5th potentially, which is pretty decent stuff. And if we can, excel a little bit more, obviously Salt Lake City, who we beat 3-2, they are predicted to finish, I can't even see Real Salt Lake City, 15th. Okay, we beat them, which is obviously good. And we only have to play them once this season because they're in the other conference, they're in the Western Conference. So that's like a guaranteed 3 points. That's really, really good for us. We just have to make sure we beat other teams in our conference as well, and it'll all be okay. So obviously, the first game coming up in today's episode is Colorado Rapids. They are a decent side, I think, but again, they're a team that I think we should be beating, looking at that preseason preview and sort of knowing a little history about the MLS and how good teams are and a few things like that. Again, before we get into that game though, there are one or two things that I'd like to talk to you about. And first of all, you may have seen different people with different names, I've got to say, in the backroom staff. And that is because on the Patreon, okay, now, normally in these saves, Patreon, if you subscribe to a certain level on there, you can have your name in the game as a region. But obviously, we're only doing one season with Inter Miami, so we can't have any other regens come through. We can't name people regens because they won't get any game time and things like that. So I thought for a change, what we do is we'll call people staff members instead. So if you're on the Patreon, subscribe to a certain level, rather than having a regen in this particular version of the game, you're going to have a staff member instead. And a few of you, I put a post on the Patreon a few days ago, and a good few of you have already said, I'll have this position, I'll have this position. So if we head over to the staff page, then you can see, here I am, manager. There's me, the manager, with fantastic, I probably made these stats too good. I just used my old profile, to be fair, so I should have just changed it to actually be correct to the MLS maybe, but there we go. There are my attributes and things like that. But we do have a few members of the backroom staff. First of all, my assistant manager, Jordan Platts, who looks very familiar if you are a fan of Inter Miami. If you're an actual fan of Inter Miami, you'll recognise his face. Obviously, we've only set a nickname, so if you remove the nickname, it's actually Claudio David Arenzo, but no, it's definitely Jordan Platt, and we've got Sam Shelton as our director of football, Patrick Hartman as our technical director. Patrick Ball is the head of youth development, although he's not going to be needed that much, I'm afraid, in this save. Although hopefully we'll have some good youngsters coming through. Patrick Davis, he is a sports scientist. Tim Wright is our chief scout as well. So there's a fair few places left, loads of them actually, loads of coaching positions, and we can obviously get more medical staff, more recruitment staff in and things like that. So if you're on the Patreon and you've not got a staff member name yet, let me know what staff member you want to be. Of course, if you want to sign up to Patreon, please do. That would be absolutely fantastic. There's a link in the description, probably on top of the screen right now as well. Get yourselves involved in that one. What's this that I've got to respond to? The pre-match press conference for Colorado. Let's do this one then. Okay. Well, I've clicked send, send assistant rather than going to it. So Jordan Platt, thank you very much, mate. You're doing that for me right now. I wanted to do that one, actually. I want to try and do some more press conferences on this because it makes it a little bit more interesting, I've got to say. Now, I haven't mentioned it to you guys yet because I completely forgot about it. In this particular version of Football Manager, the most recent update, they seem to have enabled the in-game editor button on every save, I think, but I can't click on it because the in-game editor, I'll go into the preferences, not preferences, what is it? It's game, where is it? Game status, in-game editor allowed, no, it's not allowed, it's just on this current build of the game. That seems to be on every single save. It's greyed out, I can't click on it, but I know that there will be comments saying, why is the in-game editor on there? It's not, it's just a bug in this version of the game. Anyway, going forward into this Colorado game, it's the first home game for us, I've got to say. Wins for Salt Lake City over Dallas, Cincinnati and Minnesota draw. You'll also notice as well, I've got the IDs up here as well, which is because I've tried to reskin this. I want to try and get the picture of the actual stadium there. For whatever reason, I've got a picture of a stadium. I've got it in the right folder. I've renamed it to that, although that has changed maybe. That says 2. Have I... 1 second, I might have just called it something wrong. Oh no, I haven't actually. That ID there, I've got a picture of the stadium. It's the correct size, everything like that. That is the ID number that I've got for the stadium, but it's not showing up in the game for some reason. I don't know why. It's not that big of a big deal, but if you know why it's not showing up, please do let me know, because it's mildly annoying. Mildly annoying, I've got to say. So that's why all those things are there. Right, Calendar apparently has picked up a knock in between. He's got a virus. I remember that's coming through news articles. Calendar's got a virus, so we'll take him off the pitch. And have we got a player to put on the bench instead of a goalkeeper? No, so we'll put someone else on. A lot of these players as well, looking tired. We should probably set up a friendly or two to maybe try and get these guys playing some fixtures just so they get some match sharpness into them, which does make me think I don't really want to change the lineup all that much. And you know what? They played well in that first game, all right? They didn't do anything particularly wrong, so maybe we do stick with it, all right? Maybe we do just stick with this team. I mean, it might not be the sensible idea, but we're going to go for it. And Colorado Rapids hopefully will succumb to the might of Inter Miami, who are playing, Colorado Rapids, sorry, are playing quite a defensive formation. Team talk, calmly. Over to you guys now. Have a good one. No one's really reacted to that too much. We'll do a Tuddle interview because we couldn't do the pre-match one. How much is a boost in Hang in Beyond's absence? I mean, I've no idea how good he is, so I'm focusing on what we can do rather than what they're doing. We'll say that, and that should get the game going. So, kickoff is upon us at the new Lockhart Stadium in Fort Lauderdale. Obviously, the temporary home of Inter Miami. Now, I had a comment on, I think, the first episode of the Inter Miami save, and someone said they live very close to the stadium in Fort Lauderdale, and it doesn't look like it's going to be ready, despite the fact they've got a home game in like 2 weeks' time or so. So that'll be interesting to see what happens with Inter Miami and their home games over the next couple of weeks or so. Hopefully it does all get sorted out in time as we look to have the ball in the first highlights of the game. Pizarro coming forward on the ball. Can he put a cross into the middle? He can. Kisvesa into Trap. Trap back out to Powell. Not quite dangerous, that ball. Powell back into Trap. Let's get the ball in the middle. Let's sort it out properly as Aloha shoots from distance, putting it just wide. But I've got to say, nice little moves from us so far. I'm liking what I'm seeing. Now, there doesn't seem to be a huge amount of width in the Colorado side. They've got the wing backs, obviously, but that's about it. Everything else seems to go through the middle, whereas we've got a little bit more width, I've got to say. I think we can match them through the middle, but I think we need to try and use these wings a little more. We'll go up to a bit more of a positive. In fact, let's go at attacking. Let's just go all out attacking as we approach half-time pretty quickly, I've got to say. 10 shots to 2 shots. Let's say at half-time, let's go aggressive. Not happy with performance out there. I want to see some better stuff. If we're not winning by 60 minutes or so, what I want to do is try and encourage a bit more wing play. And by looks of things, we're actually not going to be winning by 60 minutes. So, although saying that, highlights, corner coming in, no one in the middle to attack that ball as Long gets it back out to Figal. Sweat on the ball, our left back into Pizarro and Nguyen into Aloha. I hope I'm saying Nguyen's name right. I mean, I'm probably absolutely Kisveta. I'm butchering that, I know I am, as Pizarro gets the goal of the game. Huge cross there from Kisveta. I know I'm saying that wrong. Kisveta. Someone tell me in the comment section how I say that, please, because I know I am going to be butchering that. Along with Nguyen as well. I feel like I'm butchering those names. I'll learn them at some point, maybe, if I can be bothered. Pizarro, though, gets on the end of the cross, puts it into the far side of the net. And we go 1-0 up against Colorado. We won't encourage the wide play just yet. What we do want to do, though, is take Carranza off the pitch. He's not impressed me. Robinson. What a name, Robbie Robinson. Is he any good? He's got 2-star current ability. Apparently he's not actually, he's the 5th best striker we've got. Agudelo is a name that I'm also going to be absolutely butchering. We brought him on in the last game, I think, didn't we? So I think we bring Agudelo onto the pitch instead of Carranza. Let's give him a chance out there, see what he can do. In terms of other players, everyone else is playing relatively okay. No one playing brilliantly, I've got to say. De La Garza is a right back, and we've got Alves Powell at right back, who was obviously very popular over pre-season. Lots of people wanted him to join the squad. Hinman also looking quite good. Let's bring Hinman on for Nguyen as well. Let's see what he can do in that attacking midfield position. Perhaps not his best position, but I feel like he's versatile. We can use him in different situations, and give him 20 minutes of game time. I think that would be quite good. As Sweat on the ball, putting it in towards Kisvetter, who puts that one just wide of the mark. Well, I say just wide. It was very wide in the end. All we have to do now is just sort of see this game out. Let's drop down to balanced. Let's try and just see the game out for the next 15 minutes. What is important in the early stages of this season is getting those points on the board. Those 3 points are all what matters. And I think we're going to do it today against Colorado. We've had 19 shots there, 3 shots. We have dominated, but they are playing very defensively. They clearly knew they were up for a battle today, and they were trying to go for some damage limitation. And to be fair, to only concede 1 goal to us is a bit of damage limitation. And perhaps they could grab an equaliser towards the end here as Acosta can't get the ball in the middle. Powell gets the ball cleared out towards Pizarro. That's a good ball in the end, to be fair, as Pizarro races forward into Agudelo, who shoots from distance. And that is a shot and a half going into the bottom corner. The keeper does nothing about it, and we've doubled our lead. Juan Agudelo with his Agudelo, that sounds about right to me. I feel like I might have just nailed that, but again, tell me if I'm wrong. He scores his second of the season, and to be fair, he's making a case to start, I've got to say. He's doing very, very well. Good goal, well taken goal there, and I think actually we are going to start him in the next game against, I can't remember playing now. It doesn't matter too much. We'll see in a minute's time or so. But Hinman gets in the way there. Can we grab a third goal as he races forward, the furthest man forward, decides to pass to Agudelo instead, who shoots and gets another goal. Juan Agudelo, what a player he has been. He looks fantastic. He looks the real deal. What a player. Okay, 3-0. We'll skip the highlight. I'm not too fussed about saying that as we come to full time. Into Miami 3, Colorado 0. A clean sheet as well. It took me a while as well to realise, because I was reading up on some MLS stuff, and it was saying shutouts, and it said most shutouts in MLS history. And like, what the hell is a shutout? That's it. A shutout is a clean sheet, as far as I'm aware. So obviously the MLS and American sports have different names for everything. America has a different name for absolutely everything anyway. So makes sense, doesn't it? Attend this press conference. That was a terrific performance. Very good in every area. At times, we looked unstoppable. That's a little bit too much, I think. We don't want to get our players too much riled up. Very pleasing performance. Everyone did a good job. We made it look easy towards the end. And we did make it look easy towards the end. Everyone enjoyed his goal, 22 metres out. Silence opposition fans. That's what he's capable of. It was a magnificent strike from a magnificent player. I can't say magnificent, as you can tell there as well. He was undoubtedly one of the key performers of your team today, coming off the bench to bag a brace. What did he make of his performance? I hoped he'd been able to make an impact, and he's done just that to devastating effect. Am I pleased with how Pizarro played? He played a complete game. He helped the team enormously. He was very, very good. Got the opening goal. Technology. Did technology play a game in the win today? I didn't see VAR come into it. What do I say? I'm not really a fan of VAR, if I'm honest with you. I'm going to say I'm not a fan of it, even if it helped us out today. What's wrong with how things were done traditionally? I'll say that to just rile people up a little bit as well. I wonder if you can get a touchline ban for that, because obviously if you criticise referees a lot in press conferences, you can get a touchline ban. If I just slag off the VAR, will I get a touchline ban? I don't know. You know what, Tim Wright, we are going to get on just fine. My chief scout, Tim Wright, is recommending to me Argentinian 5-star wonder kids. You love to see it. Unfortunately, I don't think we can really... I mean, he's only 1.5-star current ability right now, so we can't really do much with him because, of course, we're only doing the one season. But if Tim Wright, you keep suggesting to me things like that, we're gonna get on like a house on fire. Is that a good thing? I feel like people say that as a good thing. Get on like a house on fire. That is obviously a house on fire isn't a good thing, but I feel like that means you get on very well because houses can catch fire quite well, maybe. A few more results coming through. Portland 2, Philadelphia 1, San Jose and Atlanta United 1-1 in the end. So, a few teams have played 3 games, we played 2 games, but as it stands right now, we have won 2 from 2, third in our conference, and you can't ask for much more, can you really? You can't ask for much more. Atlanta United, New York City FC, the teams above us right now, so they look like they could be pretty decent. We've got Montreal Impact next, who are, if we can possibly find them. Where are Montreal Impact? Montreal Impact are 13th in our conference with 3 games played and 3 losses with -5 goal difference. So, I mean, if we play like we did in the first 2 games, this should, emphasis on the should, be a pretty routine victory, I'd like to think at least, as MLS game against Montreal Impact coming up very, very quickly. So we'll get through all these news articles. Who's picked up Player of the Week? Not Agudelo. Interestingly, that seems a bit harsh. He came on for 5 minutes and scored 2 goals. I suppose he played the whole game and scored 2 goals, probably. That maybe makes a difference. Inter Miami players named in Team of the Week. Agudelo's there, Pizarro's there, Figal's there. Brilliant stuff. And that's about it. So, Montreal Impact want to make a trade. They want 1 international slot for 105k of their targeted allocation money. That's what they want from us. They want international slots and 105k for a second round draft pick. No. I mean, even if I was here for the 2022 season, I wouldn't be accepting that. That just seems ridiculous to me. And a lot of these trades that teams offer, they seem very one-sided. Why do people accept them? That's what I want to know. Like, surely a second round draft pick isn't worth that kind of, an international slot, surely. That's my thinking, at least. I could be completely wrong with you. I don't know. Either way, we've got to switch our attention to the Montreal Impact game today. Agudelo is going to be starting this fixture. Carranza, you've had your chance. You've not scored. Well, he actually has scored 1 goal, so I'm being harsh on him. We're going to swap him out with Agudelo, though, who looks like he's a bit of a superstar, I've got to say. What other changes do we want to make? I need to sort out some friendlies for these other players as well. Really need to sort some friendlies out. In fact, I might do that after this game. Who else haven't we really looked at playing? In fact, what we'll do is we'll look at this. All right. This is the team we've got selected. Who's looking here quite good? Palacios. All right. He's the wing back. Also left back. I think we put him on the bench, don't we? He deserves to go on the bench, I've got to say. We haven't really sorted the bench out properly, I don't think, either. I like to have it ordered. Lillard is going to come off for Palacios on the bench. And actually, to be fair, the rest of that looks kind of okay. Carranza, we'll take Robbie Robinson off the bench. I'd like to get someone else on there. Probably Pellegrini. He's probably go on the bench. And actually, we're going to swap him. Do we want to swap him with Rodolfo? No, because Rodolfo's played well. He's not done anything wrong, has he? But I do want to get Pellegrini playing because he is a designated player. And I feel like we need to get some game time out of him a little bit. But that's the one change we're going to make for this game, because they're not doing anything wrong. We won 3-0, and Agudelo was the player that I would change. So that's the team, that's the lineup. Come on then, Montreal Impact. I'm expecting good results. Now, do I remember rightly? Now, I checked out some of the North American Champions League stuff. I feel like Montreal Impact might have got to a North American Champions League final. I'm going to double check this. You're watching this. I'm going to get Google Chrome up and have a quick look at North American Champions League. We've got a corner coming in. Agudelo, Kisveta, I think, is offside, unfortunately, to score that goal. Assistant manager. I always say this, it's not assistant manager, it's the assistant referee. He seems to signal for offside there. As I'm looking down, I just want to see the finals of the Champions League in America, North American Champions League. Why can I not see it? Yeah, Montreal Impact came runners-up in 2014-15. So, obviously, in-game, they've not won a game yet this season. They've obviously slid down the pecking order a little bit since then. As we approach half-time, despite the offside goal, well, I say despite the offside goal, it doesn't count because it was offside, but we're not really effective today, I've got to say. Only 6 shots to 4 shots against a team that have conceded, they've scored 3, conceded 11 goals. We should be doing a bit better than this, considering that we've scored 6 goals so far this season. We'll go. Probably need to change to attacking all the time, don't we? Let's get creative out there as well. Who's not playing well today? We need to sort this one out as Nguyen on the ball gets it back out to Sweat. Sweat into Long across to Kisveta. Doesn't quite get there, but Trapp kind of makes interception, but loses possession back to Montreal Impact, who are looking to build from the back. On the ball, though, Figal gets the interception in there, and Kisveta on the ball, cutting inside, playing it back to Figal, though, just not quite finding that killer pass that we need to get into the middle. And again, back to Robles right at the back. Long on the ball, looking to build down this left-hand side now through Sweat. He's got a lot of space, I've got to say, to put a cross in. Does get the cross in. Kisveta into Agudelo, who scores. Is that one offside? I'm not sure. I think it could be. It's going to VAR. And yes, that one has also been disallowed for offside, so that's quite frustrating. Powell on the ball, our right back. Can he get this one cleared out from the back into Figal, into Kevin Trapp? It's not Kevin. I keep saying Kevin. I know it's not Kevin Trapp. I don't know why I keep saying Kevin as well. That's going to be frustrating. So forgive me for that. It will take me a little while to learn my names off by heart properly and become second nature. Figal on the ball, though, up towards Powell. Powell, can he get this one across into the middle? He does. Pizarro's there. Over the bar though, but we are looking a lot stronger in this second half, I've got to say. Although Pizarro's not played well, he's on a 6.5 rating. This is the time for Pellegrini to come on and show us what he can do as a winger on attack. Kisvet is also looking tired. Lewis Morgan, the Scottish international, is more of a left winger, but has got to play on the right hand side today, so we'll give him a chance. Two different wingers coming on. Hopefully, those fresh legs and that fresh bit of pace on the wings will help us out massively. That's a great forward pass to Agudelo, who gets the ball on the edge of the area. Back to Lewis Morgan. Lewis Morgan takes it on himself, shoots, and just puts it wide. And that is because he's got a left foot. He's not used his right foot there, has he? And it's squirmed off to the right, or maybe he's tried to hit it the inside of his left. I don't know what he's tried to do there. It's gone wide somehow, when really, arguably, it shouldn't have gone wide. Right. Show some passion out there, lads. 10 minutes to go. I mean, the good thing is we've not conceded. As we'll take Powell off because he's looking tired. De La Garza can come on the pitch for him on that right-hand side. Come on. I'm expecting something big. I want a last-minute goal. Let's go. Can I go very attacking? Very attacking. Come on. 3 minutes of added time. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to do it unless Aloha gets the ball up towards Agudelo. Trapp on the ball. This could be a last-minute winner. Another one for us. A Trapp coming forward. Please don't just shoot. He could have done so much more with the ball there, Trapp. He had so many options. Was selfish. Took it on himself. Ends up skewing it well wide. Perhaps one final chance through Lewis Morgan as he races down that wing. Tackled, though. Goes out for a throw-in. And I think the referee will blow after this throw-in, unless he's feeling very generous to us. And Nguyen on the ball, loses it. It's cleared. Referee still not blowing his whistle. He does now. Inter Miami 0, Montreal Impact 0. It's a clean sheet still. We've not lost, but I've got to say, for a team that have lost 3 on the bounce, that was ours for the taking, and we've not managed to do it. New York have still played an extra game, although they lost to Real Salt Lake, so they're only 2 points ahead of us, but we've got a game in hand. So as long as we win our game in hand and Atlanta don't better us, we will go top of our conference very, very soon, which is great stuff. That being said, coming up next, we've got Toronto FC, and obviously 2 Canadian sides in a row, but I know Toronto have been superb in recent seasons and done really, really well. So I'm expecting that to be a very tough clash. Only 2 days away as well. Players will be tired. We've got to put some rotation in there. I feel like that could be our first loss of the season. We'll do this press conference as well. I won't send my assistant this time. Attend the press conference. Inter Miami didn't have the best of times against Montreal Impact. I'm looking for a reaction from your players. I mean, we played well. We just didn't score the game. The Montreal Impact result will drive a team on to do better in this match. Agudelo's return to his former club. Oh, he used to play for Toronto, apparently. How do you see him coping with what is sure to be a memorable occasion? Hopefully they'll remember all that Juan did for them and give him a generous welcome. Hopefully they do that. That'd be nice to see. It's my birthday on Saturday. Hooray! You must be hoping that your opposition gift you a win. Yeah, that'd be a great present. That's a bit of a weird question. Torres has been absent with an injury. Rumours that he might return against Toronto. Is he likely to be available? Even if he is, I don't think he's going to play. I'm not a huge fan of Torres, if I'm honest with you. I think if we really need to play him, then we could. It's a big risk. I'm not comfortable with that idea yet. He's not going to play the game. We'll be honest with the media. We'll be honest with them. And hopefully, obviously, Torres will read that in the media and he'll understand that too, that he's not going to play. Because obviously, he'll want to play game. But if we say in the media that he's not quite ready yet with injury, I think he'll understand. Now, we do need to get some friendlies going for our reserve players to an extent. Inter Miami 2, though. Now, I forgot that we had them. I don't know how much control we have over Inter Miami 2. That's what I'm thinking. So, David Norman, we'll click on him, for example. If we go to development, available for Inter Miami 2. Now, that's what we need to do. Okay, so what we will do is, where's the fitness? Sort out by fitness. All these players that don't have great match sharpness. We need to get that match sharpness up a bit, don't we? So we'll sort it by that. Not Agudelo, though. We don't want him playing. These players, go to squad, available for Inter Miami 2 until match fit 90 minutes. There we go. We also need to make sure actually that Inter Miami 2 have actually got fixtures going on. If we go to our fixture list, we can't see that. What we might be able to do though, if we go to match responsibilities, I mean, I'm sure there was a way where you could set it so friendlies are arranged every single week for your under 18s and B teams and things. I can't find the way to do it. So what I'm going to have to do myself, what a horrible task this is. I can't believe I can't automate this, but I'm going to have to set some friendlies myself for Inter Miami 2. So I'm just going to do this very quickly and just going to have to keep setting up multiple friendly games every now and again and just like pick nearby teams, Storm FC, Boca Raton, also Miami-Dade. I'm going to have to keep doing this every now and again. Apparently no one can play us on the 15th of April. What about the 14th of April? Can anyone play us? Apparently so. And we'll get this team in. And then we'll just arrange friendlies every now and again. And then the team, or the players, squad players in our team who aren't getting first team fixtures and need that match sharpness can play for the B team and get that match sharpness. So when we need to call them on into the first team, they are ready and match sharp and things like that, which would be fantastic. Anyway, Toronto FC, this is going to be the final game of today's episode. And again, I think we do 92% condition isn't too bad, I've got to say. And I don't think it really gets that much better, okay? I mean, Agudelo scored goals. I kind of want to bring Carranza on. How good is Pellegrini on that right-hand side? Not brilliant. The issue is we've got very good left wingers. And right wingers were lacking a little bit. But let's put Pellegrini on the right. Okay, let's assume that he's a good inside forward. Maybe he might work well like that. Let's try that. Nothing to lose, have we? So let's give him a go and see what he can do. But that's the only change we're going to make again. And I feel like we need to make a few more changes. But I do like the side that we're starting off at the moment. They've done nothing wrong, I've got to say. 2 wins and a draw. Nothing really wrong with that. Pellegrini appears to be handed a role that doesn't suit him on the right-hand side of the pitch. What do we say to that? I have the utmost confidence in his ability and know that he'll do the job asked of him. There we go. Kickoff is upon us against Toronto. Going to be a tough game, especially away from home. Jose Altidore is a very good player for the MLS as well. They've got Bradley in the middle as well, who's also quite decent as far as I'm aware. Toronto have been very consistent over the past few seasons, so a good result against them could be indicative of how well we're going to do this season overall. If we lose to them, it's expected, I've got to say. If we pick up a draw, that's quite good. It shows that we're pretty good at battling. But if we win today, that's a bit of a statement of intent as Powell on the ball puts the cross in towards Agudelo, who grabs his 4th of the season. Juan Agudelo scoring against his former club as well. Obviously, we got the news article before saying that he's playing against his former club today. They won't be very happy with that goal, obviously, because obviously it's scoring against his former team. They won't be very happy with it. But we've given us the lead today, 1-0 up against Toronto, and that is massive, I've got to say. So, I've got to say as well, looking at this, I'm very impressed. Toronto, 0 shots in the first half hour or so. Our defence have kept them out. And I think bringing Long in the draft, I think that's really helped us out massively. Because I don't think our defence was that strong, but bringing Long in has really helped solidify it. Having 2 really good centre-backs. Because Fagal was good, but we didn't really have another one that was up to his level. We brought Long in and he is right up to that level. And someone said in the comment section last time, I think he's looking to try and get into European football, trying to make the move across to Europe. And at the same time, you've got to respect goals like that. That's a fantastic goal from the Toronto player there, outside the area, into the top corner. It looks good on the replays, those kind of goals. Good cross, cleared very well by Long, I've got to say. But one touch, shot, top corner, it's unstoppable. That's a potential goal of the season contender right there from the Toronto player. But as we approach half-time, 1-1, I'm pretty pleased with that. It is kind of frustrating that the one shot Toronto have had has gone in the back of the net, but sometimes that's just the way it goes. And like we said right at the start of the game, a draw against Toronto is pretty good going. We wouldn't be upset with that. It shows that we're going to be right there fighting right at the top of the table for most of the season. Hopefully, though, we battle back in the second half and we score another goal. Agudelo can score another one. Maybe we bring on Carranza and he can score a goal as well. They are coming forward, though, Toronto, looking dangerous. And this guy really weaved in and out of our defence there. We couldn't stop him. And luckily, his cross or shot, whatever it was, ends up going behind the goal. But that looked very dangerous as Nguyen puts a ball into the middle. Long is there, and it is knocked down by the keeper, and Figal can get the rebound and make it 2-1 to us, although it is going to VAR for a potential offside, and the VAR has said he was offside, which I'm quite upset about. I feel like that was wrong. But obviously it's the VAR, so maybe it's not wrong. I don't know. But I'm going to protest that massively as the second half is going by really quickly. We need to make some changes out there. Pellegrini's not played well on that right-hand side, as we probably predicted. But we had to try him there anyway. Kisveta can come on, be that winger on support instead. Ben Sweat is looking nervous out there and is on 69% condition, so he's looking tired and a yellow card as well. So we'll bring on Palacios for him to give him his debut and see what he can do out there. Obviously, he's more of a wing-back, so I feel like we've got a wing-back formation that we can use. Perhaps he's a player that we might look to move to that formation, to try and utilise him a little bit in some particular games. 10 minutes ago, I've got to say, I'm pleased with the draw. You know what? On the balance of things, we should have won that game, I've got to say. But a draw, which might turn into a win right at the very end here, and it does turn into a win. Another 90th minute winner from Agudelo. It says there his second goal of the season. That's not true, because he scored a few. Why did it say second goal? We know he scored. That's his fifth, isn't it, I think? Because I thought actually Nguyen rifles it, but it bounces off Agudelo, which takes it past the keeper. He scores right at the very end, and we've won the game, and that is a statement of intent as we go at the top of our Eastern Conference. 10 points ahead of New York City FC on 9 points, and we've got that game in hand as well. It's been a superb start to the season. 3 wins, 1 draw from 4 games. That is bloody fantastic, I've got to say. Palacios makes his Inter Miami debut in the 76th minute. We didn't really see enough of him to make a good judgment on him, but I was very pleased with how we won the game. So obviously he must have made an impact towards the end. We'll do the post-match press conference as well. How much of an impact do you think the officials had on the game today? I don't know. I didn't really see much wrong from the officials. Maybe the VAR stuff. We'll just go through the middle. We'll go for a pretty easy one. We may not agree on the decisions, but officials do a very difficult job to the best of their abilities. We'll just say that for now. You don't like seeing your side concede goals, but that was a great goal. Fantastic strike, no question about it. Top-notch performance, the goal scorer, he did. He's a top player, capable of performing very well. Unfortunately, he did so against us today, but we won anyway, so it doesn't matter too much at all. Agudelo with his 2 goals, that takes him up to 5 goals in 4 games. What a signing he has turned out to be. Scored 8 goals in 18 appearances last season in friendlies and things like that. So that's nothing to really think about too much, is it? But good stuff. I'm very pleased with how we've played. Really pleased with how we've played in today's episode. I think that's fantastic stuff. Next time, we've got another recent franchise club, Cincinnati. New York City FC, that's going to be a big one as well. New England, and we may as well just finish March off, and we might do DC United as well if we've got time next episode. So look forward to that one. Thank you ever so much for watching today. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have done, please do drop a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and I'll see you next time. Have a great evening. Goodbye.